Wild Florida listeners. Welcome back to the podcast. With me today is Taylor.
Hello, everyone.
Taylor, tell us a little bit more about yourself. How long have you been with Wild Florida?
So, I am the assistant animal care manager, and I have been with Wild Florida in August, it'll be 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Half a decade.
Almost.
And you're loving it.
I love it. I love my job. I love, of course, the animals make everything worth it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm here for. But
yeah.
No, I love the animals. I love it here. Wild Florida's great. I can't complain.
Do you have a favorite animal?
I love my warthogs.
Or I should say for you, a couple animals.
I was gonna say I'll give you a couple, but I love my warthogs. Mm-hmm. My pigs are my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Rose and Wiley.
Okay.
And then I love the lemurs. One for the encounter. I feel like the encounter is it's my most favorite encounter.
Yeah.
But I also love that they each have their own little personality.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Little toddlers.
Yes. Yep. Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
So they're one of my favorites too.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course, our cooney pigs in barnyard.
Yeah.
You may be able to hear it. Yeah.
Being crazy in the distance. Yeah. We're actually in these are our redfoots. This is our redfoot tortoise enclosure inside our barnyard that you can see at Wild Florida. So if you guys are guests here, you might be able to see the podcast happening live. Yeah. So that's where we are. So you might hear some crazy noises going on. Our goats, pigs, turkeys being crazy back there. So tell us how you got into this keeper industry. Little Taylor. It was a goal of hers, a dream of hers.
100%.
Okay.
Course, more so, every little girl wants to be a dolphin
Okay.
trainer. That's where it started. Mm-hmm. But I grew up in Orlando, born and raised here.
Okay.
Obviously went to SeaWorld a ton when I was little. Same with Animal Kingdom.
Right. It's the spots.
It's the spots, yeah. Especially when you're little.
Yeah.
But I was totally like, yeah, I want to be a dolphin trainer, marine mammals. And I did a few internships, a few different ones. Mm-hmm. I did a marine mammal internship, hoofstock, small mammals, reptiles. And I just kind of found out which ones I liked the most. Mm-hmm. And I felt that fulfilled what I really wanted out of life.
Right.
I like the zookeeper aspect as opposed to marine mammal, because they're on land. A lot of marine, there's only a certain amount that you have at your facility.
Right.
Whereas the land animals, we could have.
We have an abundance.
We've got a ton. We've got a ton here.
Yeah.
So I like the variety as a zookeeper that you get to see multiple different species of animal every day. You get to work with them every day. That's what. About it.
For sure. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
So moved from marine onto land, loving it way more. And of course, you love the pig life.
I love it.
How many do you have at home now?
At home.
Including the one that's currently here going to your home?
Mm-hmm. I have 11.
Including the baby that we just had? 11. Wow. And what are their names? Can you name them in alphabetical or
no? Alphabetical.
No, I'm just kidding.
So I've got my 3 girls. Chai lived in Arizona.
Okay.
I've got my 3 older boys, Chops, Hoover, and Mr. Hamilton Banks, but I call him Hammy. My 3 coonies, Mushu, and then Boglin and Tofu. And then the 2 new ones. The little orange one is Maple, and then the little black and white one is Noodle.
We've got some crazy names,
yeah,
Taylor.
There's some interesting names. Okay. Run out of names at that point, though.
With so many pigs, I can only imagine the names you have to come up with. So let's get into some dirt.
Okay.
What everyone's here for.
All right.
What are some crazy guest experiences that you've had here or at other facilities that, it's like you went home that day like, wow, I can't believe that happened today. Can you think of any?
Well, so can I be honest?
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
I feel like, and it's not even specifically just these people that are doing something. Mm-hmm. This is it just caught my attention, and I was like, actually, I have days where I go home from here and I'm like, whoa, after You and your buses.
Oh,
I was like, I'm gonna add this in.
our school groups in
The school
specific.
groups. And they're not bad. It's just
We have some great groups.
No, they're actually very well behaved. It is
Mhm.
just you see the hordes coming in,
Mhm.
and it's just your mind is just like, oh my.
It almost goes numb.
No, it does. Yes.
Mhm.
So I feel like those days I go home like that. But there are some.
Me
days,
too.
Yeah.
Trust me.
No, I feel like you have reasons.
Uh-huh.
Yep. But there are some days where like we just get some unruly people in some of these encounters, and not even in the encounters, outside of the exhibits.
People that aren't even in the encounter,
Correct.
the ones watching it happen.
Yes, are the most naughty.
It's a great word to use. Some naughty guests.
Some naughty guests.
Got to keep those naughty guests away.
Yeah. Yes. But I mean,
what are they doing?
Well, sometimes I hate it, but sometimes they're, of course, everybody wants to feed animals. I know everybody wants to feed animals.
It's a life goal.
It's a life goal. I want to touch it and feed it. But they're all on special diets. And, you know, you have no idea what can make an animal sick.
For sure.
So, like, I know it's a thing. People are just so enamored with it.
Yeah, grabbing the weeds and feeding all the
feeding, like, some
animals.
of those could be toxic.
Yeah.
But
then they get sick and we have to deal with them.
Exactly. Then, like, we have to fix what it is.
For sure.
Sometimes that's not always fixable.
Because you didn't see what happened.
You didn't see
You're just like, oh my gosh, they're sick.
Fed. It could be random plastic stuff. Like,
for sure.
We had that gator.
One of our albino alligators, one of our keepers, Peter, had to. So, little backstory: someone on our photo team watched a guest throw a plastic water bottle into our albino alligator enclosure. Who they're rare, mind you, and the female ingested it, and Peter, on our Croc Squad, had to go in with his hand.
Yep.
And
he went in fully.
Like to his shoulder, and he's a big man.
Yep, he's a big man.
And had to grab the bottle out because that could have unfortunately killed her.
Yeah.
And albino alligators are so rare, that would have been awful. Yeah. And they're in our breeding program, which we've had successful
we have
eggs.
Almost every year.
Yeah, eggs in the past. So that would have ruined something for us and ruined an animal who we need so desperately in this world.
Exactly.
So shout out to Peter for saving her animal, one of our animals. So yeah, totally get that.
Yes.
Guests can be insane sometimes. So note to everyone listening or watching, don't feed animals that you don't know.
Yes.
Feed your own pets at home.
Yep. Yep. Come do an encounter. You can feed them what we give you.
Yeah.
Nixay on the
feed-day.
The random feed-day.
Yeah. Well, on that note, Taylor, thanks so much for joining us.
You're very welcome.
Keep in tune for our next podcast episode. Maybe we'll bring Peter on to go more in depth on our little albino encounter and our albinos. Well, thanks guys so much for tuning in. Hope to see you on the next episode. Bye guys.